So in this video, I'm going to show you how to program JavaFX project with IntelliJIDEA and how you're going to make scene builder showing up, where you can start to pretty much just drag and drop like the contents in here, and you can just add your button like that, and when you run, you're going to have your JavaFX interface. Very easy, right there. I'm going to show you from scratch. Okay, first. Now, first I'm going to launch IntelliJIDEA, which I'm going to create a new project. Okay, so I'm going to create new project, and I'm going to put JavaFX application. Make sure you install your JDK. Right, if you don't have one, just use this news and browse to that location where you have your JDK installed. We make sure when you deal with JavaFX 1.8, JavaFX, you need JDK 1.8. So my FX. So I'm going to create a new project in the new window here. So after you create a project, you see by default you're going to have 3 files under sample package. So those are controller, main, and sample. So let's talk about sample of XML first. This is an XML file that dealing with your user interface. Okay. Now, if you switch to scene builder, this is the user interface, but I'm sure some of you may not see this. It's going to say looking for the scene builder path. So what we need to do is follow the links that I'm going to show you. Okay, if you're my student, you should be able to go to Blackboard. Okay, and there are 2 links that I post under web links. If not, you can just Google and search for the link. Get the latest version of the scene builder. And this is a link to scene builder. It's pretty much from the gluonhq.com. It's a open source scene builder. This is just an application to help create XML file. Okay, fxml file from the drag and drop. So you can just Google on Gluon, right? hq.com, or just download that. You just get a latest version with the OS that you use. Now, launch it, install it. After you install it, the question is, we're going to look for the path of the scene builder. And by default, I have another link on Stack Overflow. It should show the path, which I'm going to type and show the path for you. So this one, I want you to just look at this. This is the path. Or if you don't know how to create that pop-up, you just follow this. Number 2, file settings, and so on. It's going to link to that pop-up. But if you have the click show me, right, where the path is, just click it. It's going to pop up this window for you. And you click on find the path, right? You have to look at this path. Username, your username, and then /app data. This is the hidden folder. You pretty much just have to type it in. Local scene builder and scene builder.exe. Okay, So if you don't see this pop-up screen, then you can just go to File Settings. Under Language and Frameworks, you do JavaFX, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to go to File Settings. But if you already have that path, just click it. It's the same thing. You don't have to go through this. I don't have it pop up because I already put the path. And make sure you go to this path. Okay? By just scroll down, right? Or you can just type the same thing if you want to type, or scroll down to the location. Like C, users, right? Username. Now, when you get to user, like I said, you're not going to see app data because it's hidden. You have to type like that. After you type, you see it's going to gray out as folder, which is, then it's going to show up local, scene builder, and this is it, the exe one that you want to choose, and click OK. Okay? And then hit OK. And you should get this screen up afterward. And then we're in business of creating JavaFX application easily without having to know how to write this fxml file. So pretty much Scene Builder is the program that create your user interface for you. And let's talk about the concept. You may see the new programming concept we call MVC. Okay, so what's MVC? MVC stands for Model View Controller. Okay, so when you write a code, you need to understand that Model View Controller, you have to understand that view is what the user see. Right? What the user see pretty much, if you run this, I'm going to create a simple, again, right, panel like I just show you when I start the record. And this is the view that user is going to see. I can adjust the size. Okay, I can set the properties of this. I'm going to say, let's say, create label. I can add image if I want to make more fancy, right? And just browse to where you have your images. So pictures, don't have any pictures, huh? So let's get some pictures. Save image under pictures. Now I'm going to get the images. Go to pictures. There you go. So I just add images to my program, and I can pretty much just relocate the location where I want it to show. I can set the color of the text. Change like MVC model, right? So this is what we call what users see. What users see when I launch this like app when I hit play, right? So maybe I have to set a property to show the images. I have to check that. But this is what users see. Now, this is a concept of view users see. That's why sample fxml is what users see. That's why this is one file. Okay? And what happens if I create a button? A button that users start to interact with the application. So that is what user uses, right? I'm going to use the application and I have to interact through the button. So this button has to talk to controller. So that's why we have controller. So that means when you write a code for button, let me show you. I switch back to text. You see, it's very easy to read too if you want to read this XML file. So by default, when you create it, it gives you create pane. If you see on the left, that's create pane. And then I start to drag in pane. So if you look at in create pane, we have the children. Children has the pane that I drag and drop. And I set the size when I adjust the size of the pane, width and height. And inside the pane, I drag and drop the label with the location where I want it to be when I move it, right? And the text, I want to say MVC model. And that's the color of the text that I change the color. That's the code for that color. I can modify text from here, like MVC model for Java. Then when I save the file, switch back, it's going to update, right? Because technically, you can write this XML file if you want to too. This is the image view. This is the button. Now, let me show you when you want to do something with a button. I need to give ID, fx ID. That's just another field that you want to add in. And this is the name of the button. Let me name it BTN. Okay. And on click, you see it's going to be on drag, on mouse click. When I click the button, I want to call the method in the controller. Yeah, I'm going to deal with XML, but I'm linking XML to the controller. Say hello. Just create a method name hello. And you pretty much need to say colon here, right? Now I need to create a method hello in the controller. So I'm going to say public void hello. So when the button click, I'm going to print out hello. In the main, this is where you run the program, and this is just the same skeleton that we learned in JavaFX. You just extend application, have the start, right? And this is where you load that XML files in here and put as the root and set the title, which I can change it to MVC model. Let's see. And after that, the root is put on the scene, like we see it on the scene. That's the button, right? It print now at the bottom. You see that? When I click, it says hello. Is it? That's it. That's just the first program in JavaFX. So I was just going to have another videos about this. Any questions? The size can be set from here. So let me set it bigger. This is the scene size, right? Scene is the whole thing. Like if I rerun it, it's gonna be bigger, like that, right? Like I said, the root pretty much just your fxml from the scene builder that you load and you put inside a scene. That's why in this window, scene is just like the whole windows with minimize, maximize. But inside scene you have that root, which is your XML, and you link button to the controller. Just make sure you give the ID to it. or just mouse click